Hi folks, Willie Jackson here today. Today I'm going to be talking about conspiracybeforetheact.com, and I'm going to urge all of you to please go out and log on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a story, and I'm going to give you the background of the story. I'm going to give you the players involved in the story. I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to tell you what the consequences are to you and your family, children, and grandchildren. And then I'm going to give you a call to action, and then I'm going to give you a proposed solution. What is the act of conspiracy before the act? The conspiracy part I'm going to let you ponder for a little while. But the conspiracy to what? When JFK was assassinated, there were a million conspiracy theories. The Mafia did it, Castro did it, the CIA did it, you did it. To this day, 50 years later, there were theories and theories and theories. So the conspiracy we can go into. But what is the conspiracy about? It's about the act. The act is the fundamental transformation of the United States of America from a free republic to a repressive, socialistic, state-owned and state-controlled dictatorship. Naturally, the first reaction to that is people are going to say, you have slipped off your rocker. And I'm going to sit there and say, well, you may be right. But after this presentation is all said and done, we're going to reevaluate and say, could this actually occur? And if so, then what? Okay, in conspiracy before the act, a couple of things have occurred. Rahm Emanuel was Barack Obama's chief of staff. What Rahm Emanuel had said was, never let a serious crisis go to waste. What did he mean by that? Well, back in 2001 when we had 9/11, we had a very serious crisis. The country was brought to a standstill, the airlines were halted, people didn't know if we were at war. It was serious stuff. That was a crisis. What Rahm Emanuel was referring to, things that you don't think you could ever achieve or accomplish during a crisis, they're achievable. That's why he said, never let a good crisis go to waste. Well, we got through the DHS, we got passed through the TSA, we got passed through no budgets being submitted by the President to Congress. We're racking up just in excess of hundreds of trillions of dollars in regard to outstanding debt and in regard to unfunded liabilities. So we've been able to, when I say we, the administration has been able to achieve things that Americans would never have put up with. When Americans have been put up with being frisked before they board a plane, body cavity searches, take off your shoes. If they go into a stadium or an event, you have to have a clear backpack. If you can't bring certain things in, they get confiscated. When Americans submit to a railroad station before you can board at a railroad station being searched, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort. We've traded off serious freedoms in this country, all in the sake of more security, is what the government is telling us. Is the trade-off, more security, worth the freedoms lost? My answer to that is you'll have to decide for yourself, and when do you cross the limit? Okay, the government is replacing the United States of America capitalistic, privately owned ownership, individual ownership, with more state-controlled. What do I mean by that? Well, over 200 million Americans receive what we call transfer payments. That's where the government takes money in and then redistributes the wealth. You've heard that phrase. President Obama has said that repeatedly. The redistribution of the private wealth in the forms of unfunded liabilities. The unfunded liabilities are in the forms of Social Security, you know, the lockbox Al Gore talked about. That was kind of a joke. the Fed government pensions, the veterans benefits, the unemployment benefits, low-cost housing, Medicaid, food supplement programs, fuel assistance. This could go on, but basically what we're saying is we have $205 trillion of unfunded liabilities, and that over 100 million people are now receiving this money. Well, you always have to ask yourself, where is the money coming from? I think Jim answered that perfectly when he was going with the Federal Reserve. They're digitizing, creating trillions of dollars in money that might as well be Mickey Mouse money or Monopoly money. It happens to be Federal Reserve money, but it is absolutely worthless. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. Currently, China redeemed more debt last month than it has redeemed ever. And if they redeem the same amount for the next 33 months, China wouldn't own any more treasuries. Russia is in the process of threatening to turn in all of its United States debt because we're asking for, we're trying to stop the Ukrainian crisis at this point in time. So what I'm saying to you is those countries can bring us to our knees by just simply turning in our debt and making our dollar devalue at least 50% overnight. Here you see that David Buckner said to Glenn Beck, hyperinflation is coming by 2015, and the dominoes go down within 3 months. What he's saying is this isn't going to take for an eternity to play out. This is something that once the cascade starts to happen, we're going to be in serious trouble. Conspiracy before the act is trying to alert the American people not only what has happened and the people responsible for it, but where we are today and where we're going in the future. And believe me, it's the most serious topic that we could talk about. I'm begging the people to get onto this site, read the articles that interest you, and you're going to learn things that you never knew.